Jai Shri Ram. By the grace of Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Jagannath, Lord Sri Ram, we will continue the story of Rāmāyaṇa Part 1 Victory, Chapter 9 Sītā's Plea. So, if you not watch the previous chapters, you may go to the channel and watch all the chapters so that you will connect with the Rāmāyaṇa and understand this context of chapter 9. So the chapter 9 is starting like this. Ram moved along the royal highway towards Sita's quarters, praised by the many Brahmins who lined the road. Sita still had not heard the news of Rama's impending exile and was eagerly awaiting him, her mind absorbed in thoughts of his installation. As her husband entered the room, she sprang from her seat. Ram had left Lakshmana outside and had gone alone to speak with Sita. He was perplexed as he considered how to tell his wife the terrible news. Although striving to control his mind and contain his grief, Rama's face wore a pained expression and his head hung low. Sita was astonished to see him in that state. His face pale and bathed in perspiration. Apprehensively, she inquired, "What troubles you, my lord? Today is the auspicious and joyful day of your installation, but you seem to be covered by the dark shadow of a grief." Sita asked Ram why he was not accomplished by the royal servants carrying the white umbrella. Why was he not wearing regal dress or anointed with sandalwood paste after having gone through the inaugural ceremony? Where was the king and his ministers? What was happening? Rama steadied his mind and looked upon Sita's face. My worshipable father has ordered me to enter the forest for 14 years exile, O most beautiful princess. According to Kaikeyi's desire, my brother Bharata will be installed in my place. Indeed, in days gone by, two boons were granted to Kaikeyi by my ever truthful father. She has recalled the king's debt now and placed him under his ward to send me away, conferring the office of a prince regent upon the noble Bharata. In obedience to morality, I shall therefore depart forthwith to the forest. I have come to see you on my way. Sita shook like a tree caught in a gale. How could this be true? She listened with astron- ast- astonishment as Rama continued. "Oh, my high minded lady, please remain firm. In my absence, you should take to fast and prayer, remaining disciplined at all times. Worship and serve my father and mother, who are both grieving deeply due to my separation from them. Sumitra and Kaikeyi should also be served by you, as should Bharata and Shatrugna, who are both as dear to me as my own self. Be especially careful not to praise me before Bharata, for men endowed with power and wealth cannot tolerate hearing other praised. Indeed, Bharata will be the king and should therefore be served by you with all attention, carefully avoiding any offense." Sita was dumbfounded. She turned pale and her eyes open wide. She knew without doubt that Rama meant what he said. The princess listened in horror as he instructed her. Rama told her to remain living peacefully in Ayodhya under the protection of the empire and Bharata, devoting herself to righteousness and religion. Rama himself would leave immediately for the forest. After hearing Ram speak, the noble Sita becomes indignant out of her love for her husband. Her cheeks flushed red and she replied angrily, "How have you uttered such words today, O Lord? They are never worthy of one possessed of strength and weapons, who is capable of affording protection to the weak. Your advice is not worth hearing." Considering Rama as her only refuge, Sita spoke strongly. She described how the father, mother, brother, and any other relation were never the shelter of a caste woman with a husband. The wife should share her husband's fortune under all circumstances. She stood in front of Ram, her eyes flashing as she continued. "I am enjoined by ancient religious code to enter the forest along with you, dearest Ram. I cannot possibly remain in Ayodhya. If you leave today for the forest, I shall walk before you, clearing away the sharp grasses and the thorn on the path." Sita assured Ram that he could take her anywhere with confidence. She would live happily under his protection and would prefer forest life with him to residence in the richest palace or even heaven itself without him. She had been trained in all the arts of service and was well prepared to accompany him. "I need no further advice, O Lord. Simply order me to depart. Remaining with you in the fragrant woodlands, I shall be happy as I am now living in your palace." Sita felt pained that Ram had not considered taking her with him. Raised in a line of warriors king, the princess was not easily disturbed by difficulty. Again and again she exhorted her husband to take her to the forest. "Certainly, you are capable of guiding me from any danger. Indeed, none other can guide me as you can, Rama, nor is it their sacred duty. I shall therefore go with you today. That is my fixed determination." Sita was fond of country. She imagined herself alone with Ram amid beautiful mountains, woods, and lakes. Even if it was austere, she would nevertheless prefer thousands of years spent with her husband in this way than a single day without him. She spoke her deepest feeling. "I shall enter the forest at your feet. I am exclusively devoted to you. My mind is ever attached to you, and I am determined to die if disunited from you. Therefore, grant my prayers and take me with you today." Ram considered the difficulty of living in the forest, and he did not feel at all inclined to take Sita with him. He spoke gently to his dear wife, who had buried her face in her hands and was sobbing. "My dearest lady, you are born of a noble line and are always devoted to virtue. Practice that virtue and approach my mind, for I cannot bear to see you suffer. I shall now give you advice meant only for your good." Failed Sita, frail Sita, frail Sita, not only is there no joy in the pureful forest, but it is always fraught with misery. Simply by taking you there, I would be neglecting my duty to protect you. Raman described the forest where he had gone many times for hunting expeditions. There were numerous lions and other fierce beasts, marshes and rivers abounding in crocodiles and other fierce aquatics. The forest paths were rugged and often impassable. Innumerable thorny trees and stringing bushes made traveling difficult. Sharp grasses grew everywhere. Hornets, ants, scorpions, spiders, and mosquitoes were always present, along with snakes and serpents of every kind. In the deep forest, the darkness was dense. Furious winds often blew, lashing a traveler's face with debris. Ram was determined to dissuade the gentle Sītā from following him. Exhausted after searching all day for food, one must lie down and night upon beds of dry leaves. Bath must be taken in lonely lakes, which are the abode of serpents. By day and night, the terrible pangs of hunger can be appraised only by one's mind, for food is sacred, scarce. O princess, one is subjected to all kind of illness and mental anguish. Anger, greed, and fear must be completely controlled. A forest is certainly a place of terrible suffering. Therefore, give up this idea of following me there. It is not a secure place for one such as you. Sita's determination remained unshaken. All these dangers will be as nothing to me if I am able to remain by your side. I will, in any event, have no fears whatsoever with you as my proprietor. Even Indra will not be able to harm me when you are with me. What then of merry beasts? You have always instructed me that a wife can never be independent from her husband. O Ram, indeed she is half of his very self. How then can I not accompany you? Sita remembered how, when she was a young girl, an astrologer had predicted that Sita would one day have to live in the forest. Surely that time had arrived. She continued to plead with Ram. Was this not a opportunity for her to fulfill her religious duty to following him to the forest? Would not any other course be against virtue? The husband was the wife's supreme deity. Sita quoted the scripture, a chaste woman who remained thought out life throughout life by her husband's side surely attained the same destination as him after death. That was her only desire to be with Ram always. Looking into Ram's eyes, she spoke in a piteous voice. For what reason then? Ah, oh great hero, will you leave me behind? I who am devoted and faithful, who share alike your every pleasure and pain, and who desire to follow the religious path. You should certainly bring me with you, otherwise bring sorely afflicted. I shall resort to poison, fire, and water in order to bring about my end. Although Sita's lamentation hurt him, Ram did not relent. He tried to pacify and reassure her, but she only became all the more determined to accompany him. Agitated at the thought of separation from her husband, she taunted him. Taunted him. Has my father Janak often as my protector, a woman in the form of a man? How, in your absence, could I tolerate the people falsely saying, it seems that strength and valor are lacking in Ram, as he could not protect his own dear wife? Was fear has assailed you that you now desire to desert me? Although I remain entirely devoted to you, I will not cast my eyes on another man even in thought. How then can you even consider delivering me to for protection to another? Oh my lord. Sita continued to beseech Ram. She had no intention of remaining behind without him under any circumstances, be it heaven or hell. She could only be happy her husband's side. Sita gazed imploringly at Ram as she begged him to take her with him. Ram was agonized by the thought of leaving behind his beloved wife. He would miss her. Still, he feared her suffering in the forest. His heart ached as she cried out to him. Without you, heaven would be exactly as hell to me, while you, hell, would be the best of all body approaches. How can I remain here under the control of those who are inimical to you and have sent you to the forest? If I must watch you living without me, then I shall drink poison in very day. In poison this very day. I cannot bear the pain of separation from you for even a hour. How then shall I stand it for 14 years? Take me with you or let me give up my life here and now in your presence. Sita's beautiful face was streaked with tears, which fell continuously from her dark eyes like drop of water from blue lotus flowers. Rama embarrassed her and gently wiped away her tears. He was still apprehensive about taking her, but he could not see her endure the pain of his separation. She was already almost senseless from grief, and he had not even left. What would happen to her during 14 years of his absence, making of his mind to take her with him. He spoke to her reassuringly. I would find no pleasure even in heaven if I obtained it at the cost of your suffering. O pious lady, most pious lady, not knowing your real feelings and being afraid that forest life would cause you pain, I discouraged you from following me. I see now that that destiny has decreed you should dwell with me in the forest. Follow me then, O princess, and I shall protect you in strict accord with the moral law always followed by the virtue. Rama made clear his firm intention to go to the deep forest and remain there for the full duration. He wanted Sita to have no doubt of what lay ahead. He was fixed in the determination to obey his parents' command. How could one who disregarded the elder disregarded the elders and teachers ever hope to please God, who is not so easy seen or obtained? Earth, heaven, and the kingdom of God can always be achieved by one who serves his mother, father, and teacher. Explaining all this to his devoted wife, Rama said, "Not even truthfulness, charity, or sacrifice are comparable to serving one's father and mother. This is the eternal religion. Pious men devoted to serve their parents reach the religion, sorry, regions of the gods and beyond. I therefore desire to exactly what my truthful father has enjoyed. I shall go to the forest today, as I see that you are set on following me. My resolve to leave you behind has weakened. O lady of bewitching eyes, I shall take you with me, and together we shall practice asceticism in the deepest forest. I am pleased with you, Sita. Your determination to serve me in every circumstances is worthy of your dynasty, and it adds glory to me. Mine. Prepare to leave immediately. Give always all your riches to the Brahmins, and go with only a simple dress and no belongings. We shall soon depart. Sita was overjoyed to hear her husband's agreement. Her face boomed like a full brown lotus. Excitedly, she began swallowing Ram's instruction, giving away all her costly garments and jewels, as well as all the other riches in her palace. In the meantime, Lakshmana, who had been waited patiently outside Sita's apartment, saw Ram coming out. He bowed down before Ram and held his feet tightly. If your mind is set upon leaving for the forest, then take me with me, with you. He implored. I shall walk ahead of you, holding my bow and guiding against all the dangers. With joy, I shall accompany you through beautiful woods resounding with the cries of wild animals. Without you, I do not desire even the rulership of all the worlds. Lakshmana hoped Ram would approve, but Ram tried to dissuade him. My dearest Lakshman, you are dear to me than life itself. Always affectionate, devoted to virtue, and firm on the right path. You are my constant and most valued companion. Yet, if you follow me into the forest, who will left to serve your mother Sumitra and illustrious Kausalya? Rama suggested that Kaikeyi would not be kind to her co-wives. Once her son obtained the kingdom, Bharata would be devoted to his own mother, Kaikeyi, and thus the other queens would be neglected. Therefore, Lakshmana should remain in Ayodhya to take care for Kausalya and Sumitra. By serving Ram's elders, Lakshmana would demonstrate his devotion to Ram. Ram concluded, incomparably great religious merits will be earned by you, O noble Lakshman, and your mother will be served from suffering. Saved from suffering. Lakshmana was not inclined to accept Ram's advice. How could he live without Ram? In soft but firm words, he argued that Bharata and Shatrugna were both devoted to Ram. They would therefore serve all of Ram's elder equally. Lakshmana promised his brothers, if somehow they becomes proud and arrogant, often attaining the kingdom, abandoning virtue and neglecting their elders, I will return to punish them. For even while we live in the forest, news of the kingdom will reach us through the sages and ascetics living there. Lakshmana had already anticipated Ram's objection and had carefully considered them. There was no doubt in his mind that he would follow his brother. Continuing to reassure Ram, Lakshmana reminded him how the king had already arranged more than adequate support of Kausalya and her defendants. The revenue of thousands of villages were under her control. She was capable to maintain herself as well as Sumitra and even Lakshmana himself. He concluded, therefore, kindly make me your personal attendant, for there will be no unrighteousness in this act. Go before you with my sword. I shall clear a safe path for you and Sita. In wakefulness or sleep, you shall find me by your side, ever ready to go to do your bidding. Rama was pleased and comforted to hear Lakshmana speak. Lakshmana was dear to him as life itself, and Rama had been sad at the prospect of leaving him. Holding Lakshmana by the soldiers and looking into the expectant face, Ram said, take leave of your near and dear one, O my brother, for we shall depart shortly. Lakshmana felt a surge of happiness and he lines trembled. He bowed to his elder brothers and asked for his order. Rama asked Lakshmana to go by sister hermitage where he had left some divine weapons. There were two celestial bows along with a pair of inexhaustible quivers, two impenetrable pieces of body armor, and a pair of long, shining swords. Rama had received these as the dowry from Janaka and had left them with Vasishtha so that he could receive daily worship in his hermitage. He said to Lakshman, bring all these weapons, dear brother, for I feel we will have need of them soon. Lakshmana joyfully went and fetched the weapons. Then he and Ram together began to distribute their wealth to the Brahmins. Many sages came and that at that time to offer their blessing to Ram, and all of them were given great riches, gold, silver, jewelers, spears, chariots, horses, silken garments, and hundreds of thousands of cows were distributed freely to anyone who came begging charity. Many thousands of Brahmins were given sufficient alms to maintain them for the rest of their lives. Ram's relations and dependents, as well as the needy and the afflicted, were also given much wealth. At that time in Ayodhya there was not a single Brahmin or a needy person who was not provided with a gift, being thus honored and gratified by Ram. They all returned to their own homes, praised him in their heart. So, in this way, the chapter 9 has been completed. Here in this chapter, what we learn the morality is the wife should follow the footpath of her husband, even in the uh, most dangerous place or in the most beautiful palace. That he need to follow the instruction of her husband, and she need to serve her life on him. And they are in the second morality or second moral is be a brother like Lakshmana. even in very difficult situation. Even Ram went, Ram is about to depart to the forest for 14 years. He wanted to go with him. So that type of a brother you need to make yourself in this age of Kali. Jai Jagannath, Jai Sri Krishna.